In this example, I have a controller called myController attached to the Ion content node, and underneath that I have a form. I have a form where I want to call a function on my controller when I submit it, when I log in the form. The first method I'm going to show you is with a new directive called ngClick. So ngClick is an attribute directive, and the value of this directive is the name of the function that you want to call on the controller. In our controller, we have a login function, and all this login function will do is just console log the word login. So this is the app running in preview. And you can see when I press login, I've got login printed on the console logs. So we know that ngClick is working, and when I hit login, the function on the controller is getting called, and we're console logging login. But it's got a problem. The two fields in this form, the username and password field, they are required fields. So even though we're not entering any values, when using ngClick, it's still calling the login function on the controller. When submitting a form, another way to call a function on submission of the form is with the ngSubmit directive. So I remove ngClick. I set a type of submit, so the button is of type submit. I then go on to the form element, and I type ngSubmit is equal to login. So the syntax is exactly the same as ngClick, we're just calling it ngSubmit. And now when we try the application in preview, when I press login, nothing happens. I don't see the console log on the right hand side. But if I actually type into the fields and then press login, you can see that the login function is called. So that's the difference between ngSubmit and ngClick. ngSubmit can only be used in a form and will only be called when the form is valid. ngClick can be used anywhere and is just a simple event listener. Whenever it gets clicked, it will call the function associated with it. How we render the UI for invalid forms in Ionic we'll cover later on. The important takeaway from this lecture is to use ngSubmit when a click submits a form, and ngClick in other situations when you just want to capture a click.